Welcome to a visit to WBOC Incorporated on North Salisbury Boulevard in Salisbury, Maryland. This building houses the main offices and studios of the three stations in the company's broadcast division. Let's enter the lobby where the receptionist, Mrs. Cochran, greets visitors, answers hundreds of inquiries, and directs callers to the various departments. George Hack is the announcer on duty in the main AM radio studio. All of our local radio programs emanate from this studio. Remote programs originate elsewhere, such as New York or Washington for CBS News, Baltimore for weather, play-by-play sports, etc. These are fed by telephone lines into this studio and then sent to our AM transmitter. Here we see some of the equipment, such as cartridge tape machines, turntables for records, the control console, and related equipment used to transmit a program to your radio. The WBOC record library contains the albums and single records for AM radio and TV. It is estimated there are about 40,000 titles located in this room. Being a middle-of-the-road station, most of our music includes selections from folk music, pop music, and many, many more. This is the auxiliary or alternate AM radio studio. It is also used as a studio for taping commercials for radio and TV. We now enter the AM transmitter room. Here the transmitter for high power and transmitter for low power are located. During the daytime, we operate with a radiated power strength of 5,000 watts. At night, we reduce power to 1,000 watts. This is required by the FCC to protect other stations which operate on the same frequency. The engineer on duty at these transmitters is responsible for keeping equipment at peak operating standards and maintaining records which are kept according to FCC rules. He is also responsible to see that the equipment is operating properly at all times by making frequent reading of meters. This is the FM radio studio located in another part of the building. This setup is similar to the AM radio section. However, we broadcast in another kind of radio wave and broadcast in stereo sound. This studio is our main FM studio. However, we have another studio at Ocean City, one at the Salisbury Mall, and one in Pocomoke City. You also see the many stereo record albums that the announcer has to choose from, and these can only be used for FM. And this is our studio in the beautiful Salisbury Mall. An interior shot of the studio at the Salisbury Mall. The main FM studio at Radio TV Park was designed and constructed as a fallout shelter to shield against radiation. The three WBOC stations are key operations in the emergency broadcast system. All remain on the air during major emergencies. This is the FM transmitter located at Whaleyville, Maryland. It is operated by remote control from the station in Salisbury. Being the shore's only maximum power station, It has a power of 30,000 watts, a frequency of 104.7 megahertz, and a coverage of 75 miles radius. The equipment used for the operation of the FM transmitter looks like this. This equipment will read meters at Whaley'sville, turn on the tower lights, turn on the antenna de-icers, and perform any of 42 control and monitoring functions. These are the towers used for AM radio located at WBOC here in Salisbury. Without them, all of our efforts would be in vain. Now we enter the television section. Here we see a typical television program being televised on the air. It takes many people to put a TV program on the air. For example, it takes one floor man, two cameramen, one director, audio man, video engineer, projectionist, and a transmitter engineer. Let's see the making of a TV program. First, the backgrounds, mics, and lights must be set up in order to be able to televise a program. All are important so that the performers show up well, can be heard, and have a pleasant background. Then the cameraman set the picture up on a chart to adjust the picture to correct size and focus, and that each camera looks the same in contrast. We have 3 live studio cameras. Now it is time for the program to go on the air, and the performers take their positions. As you can see, the cameras have moved into position, and Mr. Hack, who is at the center of attraction at the moment, begins to speak. The camera pans over the other announcer. One of the many services which WBOC Incorporated performs for its viewers on Delmarva is educational television, better known as ETV. In cooperation with the school systems, WBOC-TV telecasts live from its studios each weekday of the school year 2 hours of classroom courses for elementary grades, which is part of the curriculum in 6 counties. WBOC Incorporated is understandably proud of its contribution to the educational structure of the area. Mrs. Button, one of the instructors at ETV, of course, teaching her class in music. Frank Hill, one of the cameramen on ETV. They're a lovely and charming art teacher. You can see we have to get in some rather peculiar positions sometimes to transmit the picture. Orlandus Waters, another of our cameramen. This is Gear instructing science for ETV. The video engineer makes sure that all pictures are okay and makes a few last-minute adjustments. That's Mr. John Raymond, the video engineer. All of the scenes that are used on TV are selected by the director, Mr. Harry Noggle. He then punches them up on the air by using the switcher, which has over 100 buttons. If a film is needed, he starts the film when he needs it, or if a slide is needed, he also shows the slide on monitors and puts it on the air. The director is the man who coordinates the operation in order to get a smooth program. The slides, films, videotape are all run from the projection room. In this room, we have 4 16mm movie projectors, 2 35mm slide projectors, and 2 videotape machines, also 2 color cameras. The projectionist puts up all films, slides, and videotape while live programming is going on. Here we see Bruce Wharton threading the film that will later be shown. Now that the picture portion is taken care of, we must be concerned about the audio or sound portion of the program. This is our audio room, where the sound for the TV studio is operated, and also the audio levels for network programs are controlled. This is John Wood. Here the audio man plays cartridge tapes, records, and works the studio mics. He also is responsible for making station breaks. All of our network programs are transmitted by microwave from Baltimore or Washington to WBOC-TV. Programs originating in our studio are sent to the transmitter by microwave. Everything, as far as picture and audio, is sent to our WBOC-TV transmitter located on Northwood Drive. This is where the program is transmitted to all parts of Delmarva. An engineer is on duty at all times of telecasts. He must keep records of the equipment operation. In this building, there are many, many miles of wire. One tube alone in this piece of equipment costs $6,000. As you can see, cleanliness is also most vital in the TV operation. These are not the only parts of the operations. For instance, we have the news department. A staff of 3 regular newsmen and several stringers gather, write, and prepare for broadcast all the local news and film used on the WBOC stations. Statewide, national, and international news is received by teletype over leased wires of the Associated Press. A 24-hour weather line is also maintained by the WBOC stations in order to furnish our listeners and viewers with the latest official weather forecasts. And the WBOC news staff has been awarded several citations in recognition of excellence in news gathering and writing. See one of the Associated Press tickets. The production department has often been referred to as the think tank. All commercial aspects of the WBOC stations are coordinated by members of the production department. All artwork pertaining to the production of commercials is prepared by the art department. Sponsors' ideas are translated into working form by the artist. Although some mechanical means are employed in printing materials for use on live camera or on film, most of the work is done on a custom basis to sponsor specification. and we hope you all have a Merry Christmas. Closely allied to, but a separate operation from the photo department, is the film department. After filming and processing, it becomes the responsibility of the film department to edit and prepare for airing all materials received from the photo department as well as outside sources. It is also the responsibility of the film department to prepare for delivery to operations all films and videotapes needed for the day's telecasting. This is Bill Hoffman, our film editor. As you know, television is a combination of sight and sound. In the photo department, the sight portion of WBOC's programming and commercial presentations are prepared. Claude Wiles, using the very latest photographic equipment for both film and slides, his department is equipped to handle all phases of television filming. The program department is often referred to as the nerve center of television. It is the responsibility of program to prepare logs, schedule programs, and commercial announcements for AM and FM radio and television. The program director is also responsible for announcer assignments, development of new programs, maintaining contacts with networks, and catalog and filing of all albums and records. The engineering department's primary responsibility is to maintain and operate all broadcast equipment, transmitters, projectors, and microwave systems. Under the direction of Mr. Jack Ward, the engineering department also assigns technicians to cover remote broadcasts as needed. The sales department is charged with the responsibility of time sales for both radio and television. The staff of 4 sales representatives regularly call on current sponsors to ascertain their needs, as well as developing new business. The sales department is also responsible for the issuance of the necessary paperwork, which is channeled to all departments involved. The accounting department maintains all fiscal records of WBOC Incorporated. The staff, under the supervision of the assistant manager, posts and maintains records of all revenues of all phases of the operation. They also prepare fiscal reports for the general manager as required. This department also performs, in the eyes of the employees, one of the most important jobs in the operation, namely the issuance of semi-monthly paychecks to the employees. This is the administrative assistant to the vice president and general manager, Mr. Schiller. Naturally, such a complex operation as WBOC Incorporated must have an operating head. The vice president and general manager is, in the final analysis, responsible for the efficient operation of the organization. As you have seen in our presentation, WBOC Incorporated is a many-sided conglomerate that falls together into one smooth working machine that provides information and entertainment for many people on Delmarva. And now, here is a shot of our beautiful ladies' dressing room, and some of our beautiful ladies, we might add. We hope that you have enjoyed this tour of the WBOC operations, and also hope that if you have the opportunity, you will visit the station and take a tour through the building. Thanks for letting us have this privilege of showing you our station. Thanks again from Tom McGuire.